In the early hours of October 2018, a 17-year-old aspiring hairstylist lost her life at the hands of her ex-boyfriend, a man nearly twice her age, after she exposed him on Facebook Live.
Y'all, this nigga got me so f***ed up. Like, I just got woke up. I'm talking about 20 messages back-to-back, screenshots. This nigga talk about you, this and that, this and that. Like, man, this nigga a whole 11 years older than me. I'm 17, he 28. What the f*** is you doing on Facebook? Over here trying to, you feel me? Like, you make yourself look stupid. This nigga mad because I don't want to come over his house because he got fleas. Like, I really need a brother so he can go over there and beat his ass. Like, this nigga don't got no car. He don't got no house. He live with his sister and his mama.
Just a few weeks earlier, she had gone online, pleading for help and revealing the terrifying mistreatment she had endured. Her name was Lashonda CHILDS, and she dreamed of becoming a successful cosmetologist, opening her own salon, and building a better future. But the very person she once trusted with her heart became the one who ended her life. That man was 28-year-old Trendell Goodwin, someone who had a long history of violence against women. Despite years of arrests, protection orders, and complaints, he was still allowed to walk free, and on that night, he hunted her down. According to court records and local news reports, Dayton Daily News and Springfield News-Sun, Lashonda had done everything she could to escape. She had reported him to police. She had filed restraining orders. She had even moved to another house trying to start fresh. But none of it stopped him. In one of her final posts on Facebook, her voice trembled as she told the world that if anything happened to her, everyone should know who did it. It was her last warning, a desperate cry for help that no one answered. And just hours later, she was gone. Lashonda was only 17, with a whole future waiting for her. She should have been braiding hair, laughing with her friends, dreaming about her business. Instead, her family was left to mourn their daughter and wonder how a system designed to protect her could fail so completely. This wasn't an accident. It was preventable. And that is what makes it so devastating. This is Wednesday Crime Gist, where we uncover real stories of toxic relationships that spiral into heartbreak. Make sure you hit subscribe, and at the end, check the next video on your screen for another tragic case of a toxic marriage that took a devastating turn. Before everything fell apart, Lashonda CHILDS was the kind of girl people remembered for her smile. Her friends said she could light up a room without even trying. She was bold, funny, and always talking about hair ideas, sketching out logos for the salon she wanted to open one day. Her family described her as determined and full of life, someone who never gave up on the people she loved. Her mom said she had a way of making everyone feel safe, even when she was struggling herself. She had a close-knit support system, her mom, her siblings, and her friends, and they all believed she was destined for something great. But when 28-year-old Trendell Goodwin came into her life, everything slowly began to change. At first, he was charming, older, and confident. He told her she was special. He promised to protect her, to support her dreams. And for a 17-year-old girl still figuring out the world, his attention felt like love. But that love would soon show its true face. Within months, his protectiveness turned into control. He began showing up at her job, demanding to know where she was and who she was with. He checked her phone constantly, and if she didn't answer his calls, he would send angry messages until she gave in. What started as small arguments grew into screaming fights, and then into something darker. According to court records reported by Dayton Daily News, police were called multiple times to handle domestic incidents involving Goodwin. In 2017 and 2018 alone, he had several domestic violence charges on his record. He had been arrested for harassment, threats, and physical attacks against previous partners, yet somehow, he always found his way back out. Lashonda tried to leave him. She really tried, but every time she walked away, he followed her. He would wait outside her house, call her family's phones nonstop, send threats through fake social media accounts. Once, when she blocked him, he showed up at her new place and slashed her car tires, according to statements her mother shared with local reporters at WHIO-TV. She was living in constant fear, but she refused to give up without fighting back. Lashonda went to the police again and again, asking for help. She even filed for a protective order, hoping it would finally keep him away. But the system didn't protect her. The paperwork got delayed. The hearings got pushed. And while the legal process moved slowly, he was moving faster. As the pressure mounted, Lashonda turned to Facebook. It became her only way to warn people and leave behind proof of what was happening. In one post, she said she was tired of living in fear and that if anything happened to her, everyone would know who did it. She wasn't just venting. She was begging to be heard. But nobody stopped him. Nobody stepped in. Every report was a warning. And every warning was ignored. And while her friends were planning their futures, college, jobs, new apartments, Lashonda was planning how to stay alive. The morning of October 2nd, 2018 began like any other for most people in Dayton, Ohio. But for 17-year-old Lashonda Childs, it would be her last. Earlier that day, she took her fear to Facebook, warning everyone about what she had been going through. She wrote about the pain, the threats, the fear of what he might do. She begged for it to end. Just hours after that post, he reached out to her again. He told her he just wanted to talk. He promised it would be quick. He said he only wanted closure. And despite the fear, despite everything, Lashonda agreed to meet. It was supposed to be a calm conversation. It became her final goodbye. According to WHIO-TV and local police reports, when Lashonda met him, violence broke out. In moments, everything changed. She was critically injured, and emergency crews rushed her to the hospital. Doctors did everything they could. Her mother, her siblings, and her friends gathered, praying she would recover. But by that evening, Lashonda passed away. Trendell Goodwin fled, but police located him soon after and placed him under arrest. Witnesses say he stayed quiet as officers led him away. The community was shattered. The pain rippled through Dayton. People cried, held each other, and struggled to understand how someone who had begged for help could be left unprotected. Outside the hospital, candles flickered. Balloons rose into the night sky. Friends whispered her name as they held one another. Every person there knew this wasn't just a tragedy. It was preventable. After months of hearings and emotional testimony, 28-year-old Trendell Goodwin was found responsible for the tragic loss of 17-year-old Lashonda Childs. The judge's voice was steady as he read the sentence. 18 years to life behind bars. 18 years. For a life that had only just begun. Lashonda's mother sat quietly, holding a framed photo of her daughter. Her hands trembled, not from relief, but from the weight of knowing that no court decision could ever bring her child back. Around her, family and friends held back tears. They had fought so hard to reach this point, showing up to hearings, speaking to news outlets, writing letters. They wanted the world to remember who Lashonda was and how deeply the system had let her down. Because Lashonda didn't suffer in silence. She had spoken up. She had gone to the police, filed reports, requested protection orders, and told them she was being followed and threatened. And still, nothing kept her safe. Local news reports confirmed that Goodwin had a long history of harming women, yet faced few lasting consequences before this tragedy. He should never have been allowed near her again. Advocates for survivors of relationship abuse say this case shows how broken the system can be, how it often overlooks the warning signs, the patterns, the cries for help until it's too late. For them, Lashonda's story has become more than a tragedy. It has become a call for change. Her name is now shared at awareness events across Ohio, in classrooms, community centers, and campaigns that teach young girls the red flags of controlling relationships. Teachers talk about her. Advocates show her photo to lawmakers. Her family has spoken out too, hoping that no other young woman will have to face what she did. They remind everyone that Lashonda wasn't just a victim. She was a daughter, a friend, and a young woman with bright dreams who wanted to make people feel beautiful. And that is what hurts the most. Lashonda's life was full of light, but that light was lost too soon. May her story be a warning and a push for change. If you found this story eye-opening, like and share this video, and subscribe to Wednesday Crime Gist, where we explore real stories of toxic relationships that took a tragic turn. And don't stop here. Check the next video on your screen for another shocking case of a toxic relationship that ended during a live stream.